What's good, everybody? So, did you ever find yourself seeing an old deck and wanting that deck to get new support? I know I have. There's a lot of old archetypes that I used to love from watching in the anime and used to love dueling with back in the day that I feel now just don't have a fucking chance of winning in today's meta. So, in this video, it's gonna be my main purpose to give you guys my top 10 archetypes I personally feel like should receive new support in the near future. Now, once again, this is going to be my opinions on decks I personally like. Not your opinions, not decks that probably should need support. This is going to be my opinion on decks I personally feel deserve to have a chance in the spotlight once again, or deserve to get its first time in the spotlight. So, without further ado, let's begin. Starting off by saying, I'm going to start off the list from 10 to 1. List not in any order. I'm just going to shoot through the list kind of gun-ho style. Number 10, Heroes. Now, as you guys already know, I'm a big fan of the hero archetype. I played Masked Heroes all throughout 2015 to 2016. And with that being said, I love the archetype. I love what the deck can do. Jada and Yugioh is actually one of my favorite characters from the anime. If you guys do not know, hashtag GX was fucking lit. Now, like I said, when it comes to heroes, I love the deck. I love what the deck can do, but it is lacking so hard. Yes, we have masked heroes. Yes, they're pretty decent, and yes, we have new Destiny heroes in the future. But even with the new support from the future, the deck is still lacking. I believe we need new hero fusions. We need a new hero win monster for the TCG at least to allow us to use our masked hero fucktard that when he kills a guy to draw a card. And we just overall need more new stuff to make the deck better. Heroes hold a deep place in my heart because Jaden was my favorite character once again. And I played the deck for an entire year straight. And I personally feel like the deck should just get more support on the fusion tip. And get a few more main deck monsters outside of the Stratos and the Shadow Mist. Maybe a fire and a rock guy. Number 9, Worms. Worms, a deck that was one of the Konami's original great flip effect archetypes that just had the ability just to kill the opponent over a slow period of time by using Worm, hitting tribute cards, the pop cards, which was very relevant back in its own personal time. I believe Worms deserve to get some more support because for it being an alien archetype and being an old archetype of a time, and for it being one of those slow roll decks, I believe the deck can have potential to be really good. Just with a few more tweaks and support. Cards that I would get that deck, maybe something like a new boss monster, and a few new main deck cards to add more support for the deck. Number 8, Spirits. Now, Spirits is another deck I would love to see great support. The Spirits is another deck that Konami brought out back in the day, and they released them slowly throughout the years, but now it's kind of like, bro, where's the Spirit support at? Bro, where's the good cards that's going to keep the spirits on the field, make the deck actually competitive? Where's the archetype version of Creature Swap? I don't know. Konami never made those cards. I would really like to see spirits get those type of cards in the near future because that deck can do some damage if it had a few more support cards like everything else on this list. Number 7, Gladiator Beast. Now, Gladiator Beast is a deck that, while I never played personally, I've seen other players play, and I've learned to enjoy and respect the deck. Gladiator Beast is a deck that I personally feel like the whole tag in, tag out, and contact fusion method was a little bit ahead of its time, which is why it won consecutive YCSs back in the day, and even won Worlds at one point in time. The deck has good monsters with Gladiator Beast Gazal, the one that popped 2 cards on the field, and some of the later Gladiator Beasts that came out within the past 3 years were kind of lacking. I think Gladiator Beasts just need a few good traps, like something that says, like a archetype based Vanity's Emptiness, and maybe an archetype based Kaiser Coliseum with a little bit more protection, and maybe they have a Rhoda, but maybe a archetype based Monster Reborn, and I think that can bring the deck to tier 1. Oh yeah, better fusions. Number 6, Machina. Now, I played Machina Gadgets back in the day. Machina Gadgets had got me, oh my god, about 3 regional top 8s, not 2 regional top 8s. Well, double some of Machina Gadgets, but anyway. Machina's held a very valuable place to my heart, just like everything else on this list. But the Machina archetype was an archetype that came out in a structure deck that never really took off the way Konami wanted it to do. Yes, players built the decks back when it first came out, and yes, just like most structured decks are out now, the deck was somewhat viable for its time, but it never just went over the top and won a YCS. And I feel like it had a lot of potential with Machina Fortress. Now we have Machina Megaform. We have Gear Frame. The deck is just missing some few up-to-date cards. Like, for example, I can see the deck getting maybe potentially a Pendulum for the near future. Maybe a few XYZs, because that'll be pretty great. And maybe some more cards for Gear Frame to search out to add to the archetype, like more boss monsters that can have better synergy with Fortress. Machinas is a great archetype that I would love to see hit the competitive scene once again, and I would love to confuse it with a gadget deck. So on this list I have to have Machina because I feel like the deck it's just 2 cards away from being broken, and plus if you give us limits to remove back to 3, the deck is just fucking dumb. Number 5. Now this is gonna get kind of crazy. You guys probably gonna click the video off now. Windups. Now, as some of you may or may not know, when I first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh, I played Windups, and I really fucking love the deck. Hashtag a little bit of story time. The reason why I played Windups back when I first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh is because when I played Naruto, I actually ran into Billy Break. I didn't know who the fuck Billy Breaker was. And I met him at the Konami booth. I actually thought he was a rep for Konami because he was playing. Actually, he was debuting the Windup archetype in one of those little Gen Con games where if you beat the person, they give you free shit. So I played Billy Break over and over and over with my gadget deck. He kept smashing me with the Windups, and I told him, I'm like, you know what? I have an interest getting back into the game. What do you suggest? And he said, pick up Windups. It's gonna be a new deck. The deck's gonna be really great. And he showed me what the deck can do. I'm like, wow, that deck's broken. And this dude knows what the fuck he's talking about. Little did I know, he was a fucking 2-time YCS champion at the time. And ever since then, I had the utmost respect for Billy Break. Not only as a player, but as just a genuine cool dude, because I didn't know who the fuck he was. And he legit gave me some good advice. Unlike most pros I met, or some people who I've seen and heard about, who are just complete dicks. But other than that, a little story time I gave you, Windups definitely held a true dearness to my heart because it was one of the first decks I actually started getting on the map with. Top 8 of my first regionals with it. Well, not my first regional, but got my first regional top 8 with it. And I went extra in my first nationals with it. So definitely Windups is a deck I would love to see get support, or at least bring back some of the older cards. Maybe just give us something like another XYZ version card to replace Zenmaity, give us Zenmaity back. I mean, the sky's the limit with that archetype. You guys already know Windups does a lot of fucking great shit. Number 4, Insectors. Similar to Windups, I would love to see Insectors get more stuff. Insectors is actually reminds me of Kamen Rider. If you guys don't know what the fuck Kamen Rider is, Kamen Rider is a Sentai-esque show from Japan that they had in America, and it was the heroes and the mask. Anyway, Kamen Rider is a great show. Kamen Rider Decade for you fucking geeks out there. You guys know what the fuck Kamen Rider Decade is? Insectors remind me of that shit. But Insectors is a pretty cool archetype. Came out around the Windup era. And I would love to see that deck get support because I like Kamen Rider. Just because of some fan shit. Number 3, Amazons. Now, Amazons is a deck that I remember from back in the day. A lot of female duelists loved because of some bitch on the TV show played it. But either way, they had a lot of cool tips and tricks they can do. And I personally feel like Amazons can do some damage with the right support. So Konami, please give us some Amazon stuff. They brought us support back in I think it was the late 2000s with some new Amazon support. But the shit was just hot garbage. As far as support cards I'll get an archetype, I don't know. Just give us something that can make the deck more consistent. Number 2, Ninjas. Now, Ninjas, just like Windups and Insectors, was a deck that was very popular when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh game. It had a real resurgence, I think, in Order of Chaos. That was like the Windup set. And the deck was popular for 3 weeks, and guess what happened? The deck fucking went up, and then it just completely flopped. They had the Ninja Lockdown with Anti-Spell Fragrance and that fucking Black Bird card I can't think of right now. It just basically said, once you bring them out with that ninjutsu art, you cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was a pretty good combo, but Ninjas, it was just one of those decks that was too inconsistent. So I believe Ninjas is a few cards, just like everything else on this list, from being really great. So coming on number 2, I have Ninjas because it has ninjutsu arts, it has tips and tricks in the deck. It just needs, I think, its own archetype-based animals to go into to make the deck really good, and just maybe a few more legit good ninjas. And last but not least, my #1 archetype I would love to see good, and this is an archetype I'm loving from the anime, and that is the Guardian archetype. Back when I was a kid, I loved the fact that the Guardian archetype had their swords to go with their monster, and the swords had their own effects, and the monster had their own effects. It's just so nostalgic for me because I like shit like that. I like the secrets of swords and weapons adding to your power. Kind of remind me of some King Arthur type shit, but with a little bit of a twist. And when I was a kid, Guardians, watching Raphael whoop Yugi's ass in the show was pretty cool, even though Raphael ended up losing later on. But that's neither here nor there. The Guardian archetype came out way back in like 2004, 2005, 2006. And the archetype sucked when it came out. So I would love for Konami to make new Guardian cards and make the deck more viable with new support, kind of similar into a fashion that it did for Monarchs. Now, this is my top 10 list that I think of decks I think should get some new light in the near future and Konami should support. I know a lot of you guys have decks you would like to be supported, so I'm going to leave that for you guys to post in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a big like button and share this video to support the channel. And if you're a new viewer to the channel, I'd love for you to subscribe for more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. Upload 3 times a week. Mondays to do my general discussions, on Wednesdays to do my top 10s like you're seeing here, and on Friday do my explaining series where I explain decks and archetypes in detail. I do these videos because I truly believe in helping you guys become better players, and also do these videos I truly believe in you guys helping me become a better player. Chris from Team Innovation signing out. Peace guys and stay innovative. Deuces. I'm highly into the holiday set. See me, when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh, I started when the format freshly began. Around the core set, which I believe was the set that Windup